All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 36. I'm your host, Paul. How are you?
Great, Alex, you?
Yeah, since the last 10 minutes have elapsed since our last recording.
Yeah, I'm still good.
And we are pleased to announce our next guest, Charlie Beech. Charlie, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good.
Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you.
You too, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, mate. And we'll come on to learn a little bit more about you in due course, mate. But I'm going to hit you with our rapid fire questions just to get to know the man behind the beard.
It's coming on, isn't it?
It is.
Although I've been done in by your man over there.
So, I mean, you'll have heard these when we were recording the last one, but just 5 or 6 light-hearted questions, mate. So, favourite holiday destination?
South Africa.
South Africa. Is that from a personal standpoint or a rugby touring standpoint? Or?
I've done one of each, and I absolutely love the place.
Whereabouts were you went?
So both times sort of the garden route, so Cape Town through to Joburg, and just sort of stopping in between doing different bits. So again, both the rugby and the personal. So
Nice.
once at 18 and once at 35, and
Different spectrums of life.
yeah, and yeah, I would have if I didn't have kids, I'd have stayed there. Like that's that. I loved it.
Fantastic.
So,
Favourite takeaway option?
Chinese.
Chinese? What's your dish of choice?
Do you know what? It always used to be crispy shredded beef. Great choice, right? But then they've obviously all sort of started spreading the whole salt and pepper things come in. So if you got a whole like batch of salt and pepper chicken wings as well, that's a great combo.
Yeah. So
Between the two.
there's a place by me, and me and Shree get this, and it's like a pizza box. And
Yeah.
you just fill it with stuff.
Oh, yeah,
salt,
no.
pepper chips,
Yeah,
Wow.
onion rings,
I think Anna and Violet have done that before.
ribs and
yeah.
stuff. It's a great idea at the time, and then once you finish it, you're like, I feel
Dreadful. Absolutely. Yeah, no,
based out.
every time you're like, I need a friend to eat this with, that'll make it sensible, and then you try and eat it yourself, and then you just regret every life choice.
Yeah.
No, I'm with it.
Never having that again. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, like, fancy one of them boxes? Yeah, let's have one.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
It's always, it's close, isn't it? Always Indian and Chinese.
Yeah.
Not a
For
big
people.
bean guy.
No, you're not, mate. I know. But it generally is people.
Yeah. Kebabs are when you're on a night out on the way home 3 a.m, walking past the siren song of the thing being scraped down the meat.
You say that. Me and Alex were out just pre-Christmas, and I'm not joking. And I've not. That's the last time I'd had it, and I've not had it previous to that because I couldn't tell you how long it was. We had KFC, and it was the best KFC I'd ever tasted.
It's just on Deansgate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're so varied with KFC though.
But again, yeah, you could have gone there and had an absolute. But it was,
No.
Banging.
yeah,
Nothing to do with the 10 pints of Guinness you'd had before that.
probably not. No.
Makes all things better, doesn't it?
How do you unwind away from work, mate?
Gaming. Quite a lot. Gaming, reading. Closet nerd hidden in a giant man's body. But yeah.
So are you on the GTA 6 hype train?
November is it now?
I love GTA. I grew up playing GTA. I had GTA London 1, 2 all the way through. I've had all of them, but my thing's more like Skyrim and like proper nerding out. Like if you can't throw a fireball at someone, there's no point playing. Do you know what I mean? That's
Just on GTA, I heard a well, I've not heard it. My mate Ian on the drive over here told me that it's going to retail between £100 and £200
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
for that game. It's going to. They can't even tell you. Well, obviously we're still months away, but
Yeah.
between £100 and £200 for a PlayStation game.
It's insane. And then you think how much time and money and effort's gone into it.
So the reported fee. Who's the manufacturer now?
Rockstar.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
By the finished product, they'll be $2 billion in.
It was GTA. I think it was GTA 4. Or it was one of the ones in between, or Vice City or something. It was, I forget the exact figures, but it was something like they'd put 50 million into making this game. They had 60 million's worth of pre-sales before the thing even came out. Like,
It's all right, innit?
do you know what I mean? Like, it's that.
Well, this will be
Yeah.
ridiculous when that game lands.
It'll break all records.
Yeah,
but,
100%.
So, favourite sport, pastime and team?
Well, obviously mildly biased in the.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, rugby has been my entire life, so I have to say that's my favourite sport. Team-wise, I've always played rugby. I've never really watched a huge amount of it, but if I had to be loyal, the only one of my teams really that still exists is Bath.
Okay.
Yeah, so London Wasps obviously sadly went the way of the dodo, as did Yorkshire Carnegie. I mean, they are still Leeds Tigers, but
Is
Yeah.
it Warwick? The
Warwick. He is
head up there now.
there on Friday. Yeah,
He was Leeds ice hockey, wasn't
He
it?
was Leeds Knights, yeah. And then their head coach Pete Lucock's an old teammate of mine. So it's 10 minutes from my house. So it is very like, it's kind of my club in terms of like that's the most local, most history with. But Bath, when I played for the Prem, was sort of my big club. So that and Wasps. But someone gave me a lift home the other day, and the kids that never heard of Wasps because they've not existed while they've been alive. And you just going, that's mad.
Mental.
Considering how like they were the force in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly it's like,
Don't even know who they are.
don't even know they are.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And Sunday roast wise, mate, what are you popping on there and what are you dipping your spuds in?
Definitely roast beef.
Roast beef.
Given the choice, it's got to be pink in the middle. If it's not pink in the middle, you've overdone it. Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Mum.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my mum as well.
Yeah.
She,
It's got pink.
it's not. It's congratulations. It's not well done.
Yeah.
It's that far gone.
If my mum ever watches this, there's a long-standing joke in our family about my mum and her cooking abilities. And the very first time, weirdly, Rachel Riding, who was in here just before, referenced my very first girlfriend, who she knows from God knows how long. I took her first girl I ever took home to my mum. Mum made roast beef. We sat there chewing that thing very politely, quite a long time. Yeah, it was it's brutal. And what am I dipping it in? Horseradish.
Horseradish.
You get the horseradish out for the beef. Get your obviously gravy. When you get that gravy horseradish,
It's probably not for you. That's a bit hot.
gravy and horseradish mixed up, and you're getting your spuds in.
He's calling me out, mate, because he thinks mint sauce should just be kept for lamb.
So he has chicken. He'll have mint sauce.
He's
He has
traditional to be with lamb.
mint sauce.
Yeah,
You do you, mate. Be bold.
you know, I've seen people.
Be the shepherd, not the sheep, mate.
That's why I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not a Man City fan. I've seen people grab all the brown and red sauce and stick it all over.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing?
Listen,
It's a
that's it.
Sunday roast,
Yeah. Heinous.
and you're
bro.
digging me out for a bit of mint sauce for 2 years.
Some chicken. It's just
It's good, mate.
yeah.
Have you tried it?
No.
Well, then don't knock it.
We went.
Well, I like mint
we
sauce.
went for a carvery, and
I like mint sauce.
jokingly, I get to the end of the line, and I'm like, "Where's the mint sauce?" And he's walking off with it, just taking it. You know,
Best way,
he
though.
thinks he's funny. Him.
You laugh.
He's quite funny.
You laugh. So, I mean, we'll have a bit of a dive into the nice little logo that you got on your top there, Charlie, in a short while. But obviously, you've touched on already. You're a rugby man. Give us a bit of a back history of Charlie Beech.
Yeah, back history, Charlie Beech, Christ. So, as an adult, basically, I was a pro rugby player for 15 years. I was straight out of school into rugby, so that's all I basically ever knew. Was a state school boy, got picked up because I played England age group stuff, so England under 16. So I ended up going to a rather nice school to do my A levels, but rugby scholarship was part of it. So yeah, straight to Northampton Saints for a couple of years, London Wasps, then through to Bath, up here for Leeds, and then a couple other clubs along the way, sort of loan clubs. Had a season in New Zealand, which was a real good giggle as well. And then at the age of 32, sort of got to a point where I couldn't be the dad I wanted to be, being the rugby player I was still trying to be. So I called time on it, went part-time. So I've been doing that for, obviously, I say 6 years. Obviously, COVID kind of cheated us of a year. But yeah, this is my 21st season, so I'm still pretending to be an athlete of some description, rolling around a pitch. So when that decision was made, and obviously I'd make that sort of step, it's like, right, I need a full-time job because you can't survive on match fees unless they're exorbitant. So didn't have anything past A levels, which is fairly common for rugby lads. Football lads get picked up a lot sooner. My brother was he's ex-pro football back when Division 3 was a thing. He played for Cambridge, so he got picked up and dropped just with GCSEs. So at least I had my A levels. But you've got no work experience, nothing on a CV other than running into people really hard. Like, you've got all these things. Coaching was never. I like coaching like a session, like a one-off thing, but being a coach was never really for me. I was obviously never going to be a PT. Punditry I could get away with, but I haven't got the face for TV. It's more for radio. So it was like, right, what do I do? And the one thing that had always been like the sort of mythical other job that you could get as a rugby player was what they call business development. They're like, oh, this company will give you their credit card. Go get people drunk and they'll sign up for things. It's like, great, sounds amazing. So I've been in training all my life. And then, COVID came in and ruined it. But I basically ended up being business development for a business coaching franchise.
Okay.
So sat there selling Action Coach. Other business coaching franchises are available. But it was very good. Like, there was some brilliant systems behind it. It was a great place for me to land, because me trying to work out what to do with life, what I knew, what I didn't know, what was transferable, all these bits. I'm in this place that's kind of halfway between sport and business, because it's coaching, right? I understand coaching, don't understand business. COVID hit within 4 months of me starting an office job.
So 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Mental, isn't it? So I got sent home, work from here, you had to make your own methods up, because obviously ringing people was pointless, because no buggers in an office anymore, because they're all at home. So we had to work out, on LinkedIn, online, Zoom calls, all this. So we just like fly by the seat of your pants sort of stuff. And I loved it, because I like chaos. I love moving in that space. So I'd sort of worked it out. I was doing different bits. And then we got towards the end of it, and people going back to offices, and it was almost like, let's return back to normal. And I was like, don't much fancy that. I'm a very literal human being. So when I'm told that your boss has an open door policy and you're always to tell them exactly what you think, anyone who's ever had a job knows how that one ended. So I was shortly made redundant, as was my then partner, pregnant, middle of COVID, all the rest of it. So it was like, right, get out the door, make some money. I've got the same mobile phone and laptop that work left me leave with. It's the same ones I'm still running around with now, and it was like, make it work. So we did. So I started front row support, went to what I knew, which was flogging business coaching, just flogged other business coaches for a while. Realised if you can flog business coaching, you can pretty much flog anything. And then just developed and grew.
So when was it then that front row support, which is now your current entity, when was that born?
So it was I called it the same thing. So the idea that, something to do with rugby and sort of pushing that and how the two melded was always the idea. But about 18 months in, I had about 5-6 people on the phones for me. I was just like, this isn't for me. It's not. Problem is, when you play sport for a living, like, it's not a grandiose purpose, but you've got a purpose. Like, you as a team want to win. You want to win, you want to go, you want to grow, you want to win the championship, you want to win the title, right? So when you're suddenly in a job where the only goal is making money and there's nothing more purposeful than that behind it, I couldn't do it. Like, it just didn't.
It's a bit soulless.
Yeah, I'm going to work just to do things in, and I'm seeing people around me looking the same, and I'm like, I can't do this. So even though I was running a business and it's exciting running a business, it was almost like the level of stress I'm dealing with here for what I'm getting back and all, it just weren't worth it. So I went back to basics. I was just like, right, what do I believe in? Like, what do I want to help? And we picked up some investors, and we were like, we want to twist what we're doing ever so slightly and use events as a way of sort of bringing people into business, because it's the best hook to get people along. Me trying to ring you, I'll get ignored. Me inviting you to a party, you'll turn up. So it's a nice way of, doing things. And I booked a mate of mine who I played at Northampton with, a guy called Damien Brown, who had retired from rugby and decided to be an extreme adventurer. So he joined, I call it a race. They go from the Canaries out to the Americas, rowing, solo. So a number of people have done it that way. So he joined that, did that. Fantastic speaker, the stories, the mindset, all that he does on that. So I book him for this dinner, and it's a launch event. Book him in, so we'll have dinner, and he'll sit in afterwards. In between the time me booking him, he decided to row back. So no one's ever rowed from the Americas back. Now Damo's Irish. His mate, who was going to do it with him, 2 Irish lads, so we'll row from New York to Galway. But no one goes that way because it's against the current. 13 days in, his mate had to be airlifted out because he's someone who'd had a spinal injury in the past, and he said he'd never walk again. He was back walking, moving. I'll prove them all wrong, and he did. But a transatlantic row in the wrong direction was too much for him, so he got airlifted out. So Damo, given the option, because they're only 13 days in, it was like, would you want to come out as well? No. So he rowed a 2-man boat solo across the Atlantic for a further 100 and something days.
That's wild.
And like, there's times, he's telling this story, and there's times in the middle of it, he says, where like you row all day, you drop your sea anchor, and GPS is all he's got. He's got no support boat, nothing. And he said for a period of a week, he'd row, let's say 20k in the day, and he'd wake up 25k back. for a week solid, just watching everything he did, just completely undone, knowing he was going nowhere. He sort of stopped. He was like, well, where do you think the next nearest person, like ignoring shipping, where's the next nearest human being when you're in the middle of the Atlantic? And people are like, oh, is it Greenland? Is it Iceland? Is it Ireland? Is it this? And he's like, International Space Station.
Yeah.
Mad.
Closest human.
So he's telling this story, and we're all sat there like, this is incredible. Like, what, you know, it's about dolphins, and you know how the thing that nearly broke him was his last chili dinner dying because there's so much salt, you can't taste anything. So the last spicy dinner went nearly broke him. Like, it was like mad. Just the mindset of this guy is incredible. And I'm looking around this room, and I'm just like, I need to do more of this. This is mint. Like this feeling of like us telling our stories, us making sport out of sport, where to go next, what do we do with it? I was like, this is the thing. So on the back of that, we started doing, so, you know, fireside chat style, we started doing the breakfasts, sort of helping other players transition from one to the other became the real mission, because I'd really struggled, but me being a talker, I'd sort of landed on my feet a bit. Others aren't as lucky, aren't as, you know, well networked as me. I've played for so many bloody rugby clubs, there's hardly one I've not been to, so it was like I knew a lot of people, could talk my way into things. So it was like, right, let's help. So then I spent the following 2-3 years sort of bringing the whole idea together. And as you said, like the new logos, we ran under a set of rugby posts for a couple of years, and we just had this one done because essentially I'm set now, we know what we're doing. So there's 3 arms to it. There's the events, still doing those. Also doing one with your good self again later in the year.
Indeed.
We've got a recruitment arm. Obviously makes sense, but what we do is we put some of the fees that we make back into the rugby clubs that we source the players from. More at the semi-pro and amateur level, because I'm helping all sports. It's not just pro sport for me, it's all sport. Don't have to be a rugby player, like we'll help anyone, but rugby's obviously the easiest place for me to start. So we've got that side, got the event side, and then we've built like a business community, like a membership function. So it's sort of weekly co-working with coaching in it. So again, it's like a training session once a week, turn up and get better. So she's bringing that sporting mentality. But for me, there's a lot of companies out there sort of singing the whole transferable skills. Sportsmen got loads of transferable skills. They'll use the name of someone, and be like, but the help kind of stops there. And you're sort of standing on top of a thing shouting at people. And I'm like, you're much better getting hold of them, selling the story, getting the thing and building a proper network. So when these guys are looking to leave, it's like, here's a whole bunch of options for you, rather than, oh, we've arranged for all of you to do leadership and management courses. Or there's this one academy over here, so all of you can go into that one thing because all of you are the same. It's like you go from a bespoke world where you're pushed to be the best you can be in your own style to having to fit a mould. It's never going to work. So yeah, I've built that community. So the 3 all interlink and work together and do what they do.
So the networking, co-working hubs, how many have you got?
There's 2 currently open. There'll be 5 by the end of February. And then I've got a couple people lined up to open a couple more.
Fantastic.
Because again, the idea is so each hub's hosted by a coach of some description or another, or a consultant, or someone who wants to train and give back and grow people. So it's a great chance for them to meet people, because again, as coaching, I'd say having sold business coaching, how bloody hard it is. So I can give you a room full of people that have got the right mentality. That's a great pool for them to grow their own businesses in, which is what I'm encouraging. But it also then adds them into my membership, which gives me more opportunities to place people. So yeah, we've got Leeds and Casa, the ones that are open, but Rothwell, Beverley and Carverley will be open by the end of February. So Beverley's East Yorkshire, because I, for my sins, play for Hull, so it puts me near location. Carverley's where I live. It's not actually my hub. We've uncovered the lady that, you know, the meerkats on Compare the Market.
Yes.
The lady who made those, like as in she's the person, the brain behind it.
Really?
Yeah, literally retired from London. So she's essentially a retired pro athlete. Just her game was advertising. So she's also like nose blind. Yeah, I've got nose blind for Breeze. Her.
Really?
Yeah. She's an incredible woman, sat in a village in Yorkshire.
Doing nothing.
Just sort of wondering what to do with her life. Exactly the same state that ex-pro athletes get in, where they sit there being, what do I do? Like, I've been in this environment, this is all I know, and now I'm in this one, and I feel like an idiot. What do I do? And I met him, it was just like, so that's our first specialist hub, so that's going to be a marketing specialism hub, so if people want to learn marketing and sort of learn from the best,
And all the hubs are open to
All hubs
members.
open to all members. So we've been jinking things over the years. Same sporting mentality. That's not quite right. Find a way, make it better. So the idea is you can go across all of them. There's a development scheme for smaller businesses and employees that is more fixed. But the proper memberships, 2 levels, pro and semi-pro. Keep it on theme. And then they can go to any hub that suits them, learn what they want to learn, do what they want to do, work with who they need to work with, and
network, get coached.
yeah, because the idea is it is a network of people, but it's not networking. Because if you say networking to anyone in business, the skin crawls a bit. No one, I've got to wear a name tag and like a farm
Nothing
business.
worse.
Yeah, everyone dreads it. Everyone dreads it. Same way if you say sales, people think of a guy with shoulder pads and a greasy handshake. It's that like it's certain things have negative images attached with them. So it's just getting around that. So yeah, it's a network of people, but we're not. Other than the breakfast events we do, the talks, there's a little bit of round the outside of it. It's like it's a network of people, and you will naturally get to know each other, and I'm sure pass business and grow. But it's not the focus. The focus is to get better as an individual, which will make your business better. Which again is the focus of sport, right? If you're a better player, your team will win. So
Absolutely. So what's the? And obviously this has kind of grown over the last 5-6 years since you've been doing. I think we've obviously spoke a lot off camera, and you've kind of settled now with your events, your recruitment, your networking stuff. What's the aim? What if you could say 5 years time? I hate that.
well, no. I've been doing this recently. So the aim in 5 years is to have hubs up and down the country. And well, within 5 years, I'm hoping to have some in other countries. And I've got front row support. Cape Town has a lovely ring to it. So that's. We've mentioned South Africa earlier, but it's like, that's good. I've said that the day I know I can hang my boots up on a business front is the day I place a sumo wrestler into work in Japan. I've just got this image, like, that's it, You're just like, I've done what I came here to do. So yeah, because the hubs will grow. So the idea is, I go around now focusing on selling hubs into coaches and building new ones. They focus on growing a membership, that grows that. The recruitment runs through. I'm not someone that needs to do everything. I know my role in life. Again, it's a rugby thing. Like props are absolutely bloody useless on the wing, and wingers get eaten in scrums. So it's like I do my thing, you do yours.
What are you good at?
I'm good at opening doors and having ideas and getting excited and dragging people with me. But once it gets into like the formatted business bit, that's best done by grown-ups. So I surround myself with grown-ups who are better than me than the things we're doing. Let them run all those bits. I just find the work, get people excited and throw them through the right hole, basically. So that's the more of those I can get together. If the networks across the country, they're all attached to local rugby clubs. All local rugby clubs are thriving. Other sports clubs as well, but it's like getting them to be commercial entities in their own right, almost.
Yeah.
So they're not reliant on big backers, big funders. Therefore, fewer of them die, like Wasps did, and Worcester, and Irish, and Jersey, and like within rugby, it's a massive thing. But suddenly they're all making money, so then business wants to be in sponsor because they're actually getting something back from it, rather than just looking after Jimmy because. My little Jimmy plays in the under-12s, so we'll look after the under-12s. Then when he leaves, you stop sponsoring. It's like if there's an actual business case for being there, they'll stay forever. So it's like, well, let's do that because it's not impossible. It just takes someone doing some joined-up thinking. So yeah, 5 years. England's settled. Wales and Scotland by then as well.
Tech on the world.
Well, why not? Why not? So I've been a gamer all my life. Total War is just in my head. I've just flags over different parts of the country. It's good going.
So I mean, I know you briefly touched on it. I came to one where you do the fireside breakfast chats. They're really good, really interesting. Is a plan to keep doing them throughout this year as well?
Yeah. So essentially, what we're doing is we're making them quarterly per hub, rather than monthly for everything. Because as we expand, it's going to be impossible for me to do one that suits everyone.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing one a month at every hub, I ain't going to have time in the day to do anything. So the idea is each hub puts one on a quarter, but we stagger it so I can be. And I'm not sticky finger with these things. Like if some of the hosts or if people coming out of sport are naturally that way minded, there's some brilliant pundits and speakers in sport, they can host them as well. But yeah, the idea is to keep those in because they're a great way of telling the story.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, everyone associates things their own way, right? So when you hear pro sport, most people think football. So they think stupid amounts of money. You guys have got ages, you retire, you've got all this time, and it's only true of top couple of levels of football, but it is decent money. Top end of rugby is equivalent to 4th, 5th tier football in terms of money, probably. Like, it's not anywhere near that, and rugby's probably, with cricket, one of the few team sports you can actually make a living with. So you think all these other people that do all these incredible things, like, we work with a guy who's the England wheelchair rugby league captain, and he works in a gym part-time. Like, there's a girl trying to play, one of the speakers we've got coming up in February, Grace Fields, so she plays for Scotland Rugby League. They've got to self-fund their trip to Las Vegas. And you're like, it's Scotland. Like, this isn't like, I know.
The national team.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
wild, isn't it?
And it's that. So it's going, right, we need to tell these stories, because, all she's trying to do is raise a couple £100 to fund a flight. And
See, you can tell me to bugger off. What was your top earnings playing rugby?
No, I don't mind. So when I started in the Premiership, the average wage was 85 grand a year. And that's what you think of football.
I mean, it's a good annual wage, but when you're comparing that
to
football
to someone playing for Leeds United in the Championship and getting that weight,
when I was playing for Leeds, it was Leeds Carnegie, Yorkshire Carnegie at the time, I can't remember what it was, but we had a cup final. So Leeds United were like, we've got the training facility. Is it Thorpe Arch?
I think so, yeah.
Out that way. Because indoor, weather was dreadful, come use that. So we rock up and there's, pull into the car park, and we were in our banged out escorts and Mondeos and whatever else we could knock together. And there's this.
I'd love a banged out escort.
Yeah, these days, for Mondeo. But yeah, the car park's full of Ferraris, Porsches, this, that, the rest of it. And we're like, clearly the first team's in, this is mental.
Youth team.
Academy lads walked out. You'll sit there being like, how the living hell does this make sense?
No, doesn't, does it?
So yeah, it's a crackers thing. So a lot of sport hasn't got the funding, so the more of those breakfasts we put on, the more speakers we get in. They get a little bit for doing it with us. It's not, the point of the breakfast isn't to make them money. The point of the breakfast is to put them in front of business people who go, I can sponsor that kid for £300, £500, which is like nothing. I've seen people spend that on lunch in business circles, and you're like, I'll let someone go play for their country. Yeah. It's like, should we make that as a difference? Because actually, it's not a big thing in one respect, but it's a massive thing in another. So the more of those stories we can tell, the better. So it's just a highlight piece, really.
It's interesting you mentioned about clapped out cars, because we were at and Charlie knows the place very well, the Motorist last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And you were it's in your element. Yeah. Looking at the old cars. You did your...
Well, we did our own event there, but it's a tie-in with you and what we're doing later in the year. So we actually staffed the Redline Summer Barbecue there. So Redline specialist cars who obviously helping us out.
Well, there's a Mark II Cortina sat at the entrance, and then there was a replica of a Ford Mexico.
Well, the cars that are on the shelves in the shop are all the guy who owns it. That's literally his collection. He owns all those cars. The ones that are in throughout the restaurant, they sort of circulate. But for this some barbecue, they rolled in, we had to literally help the cars get in. I won't touch and drive them because Christ. McLaren Senna, which is multi-million-pound car, and the noise these things were making going in was ridiculous.
I got done coming out, didn't I? I think I went in the wrong way and out the wrong way.
Oh,
and on the way out, someone gave me I just smiled at him.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I feel for there's a house just round, over you go the single track bridgey bit, there's a house there, and I feel for them because on certain days there's cars tires squealing up that road.
The client was with Steve, was kind of like, "Why was you nice to him?" I'm in a marked up vehicle, It's got the company logo all over it.
Yeah, so I mean, you're helping myself out again this summer.
Certainly am.
With our golf event that we're doing. So, we talked about it on the podcast before, where my friend Tom and I did 4 compass points of Yorkshire last year in one day. That was an interesting 3:00 start.
It certainly was. Pitch black. Yeah, it was fun. I'd ran the golf buggy and didn't know where you were and weren't allowed to run it. Worked out halfway around that if you go off course, it's no good and it sits yourself down. Glow in the dark balls, wasn't it, that early in the morning?
Pretty epic.
It was epic.
And then when the sprinklers came on the second green.
Yeah, that was a good day. So it's north, south, east, and west Yorkshire. So there's 72 holes in 24 hours. All the courses donated because we do it for Martin House.
So I mean, you put this together.
It was your idea. So Alex came to me with the idea. He was like, I've always wanted to do it. Me and Tom want to do it. Like, I've been ringing a couple of golf courses, not having much success. And I was like, well, look, let me have a spit at it, sort of thing. Let's see where we can go. So I mentioned him Redline. So Redline, a guy called Gary Dow works for Redline, massive supporter of Martin House Children's Hospice, which is obviously a lovely cause, looking after kids when they really, really need it. And I said, well, if we, because he said to me, so I want to do it for charity, but you didn't really have a fixed charity. You just wanted to do some good and have some fun doing it. So it was like, brilliant. That's what we're all about. So let's work. Ring Gary. It's like, look, this is the idea. Want to help the boys out. Can you lend us a motor for the day? So we got this logoed up Range Rover, wasn't it? Beautiful thing. So he was like, yeah.
Fridge in the middle. Let's have a console fridge.
Glorious. So they did that. So then I rang around all the different golf courses and just said, look, it's for Martin House Children's Hospice, raises money. Boys just want a round of golf. Not a single one of them charges a single penny. We had boys at the old bar, which was the Ryder Cup one, the South Yorkshire.
Lindrick.
Golf Club. So we had lads, the old boys at the bar, literally walking up, cash out their wallets, make sure you put that in the pot. Like, lovely boys. So we raised, it was just shy of £1,000 in the end we raised from that way around. So the final figure went on through Just Giving and all that. So the girls will tell me, I'm sure, because we've got them again this time round. This time round it was right. So now we've done the 4 points of Yorkshire. Let's do 4 counties. Can we do it? So I was like, yeah. So get the maps out, work out where 4 counties would work. So we're doing County Durham, Cumbria, Northumberland, and North Yorkshire still.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So it's actually weirdly it's a smaller loop because actually four counties are closer to each other than the 4 ends of Yorkshire. We've got that one booking in. The Redline are back on board. Adept are on board this time as well. Officially going for it this time. So we should have more logos on the car, which would be nice.
More logos, yeah. I've got some branded polos and hats and stuff like that as well.
Beautiful. So I was driver last year round. I'm organising it this year round, and I might sort of pop up at 1 or 2 of the courses. But essentially, I slowed them down. So it was having a driver was great. But I was like, I've got a golf buggy, and they were like, we just want to walk. It's fine. So in the end, I basically
your steps were ridiculous as well, weren't they?
60,000.
The ground you guys covered was insane.
60,000.
And we were having that chat there when we were saying about golf, and I was like, I do 6 holes and I'm knackered. They did 72. I'm like, I don't know. They were still hitting a ball by the end of it, and not hitting each other like I.
Good fun.
But yeah, you could see
when you're doing something for charity, it does drive you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does drive you. Yeah. And when people are backing you as well, it's a nice thing.
Yeah. No, it was a lovely thing to be part of. Martin's House were really great.
Did Cooper sponsor you then?
I did, yeah.
Good.
And I've got a wackier idea for next year.
Nice.
So it's there's a place in northwest Norway.
Yes.
Called Lofoten Links, and
Okay.
it sits above the Arctic Circle. So for like 6 weeks in the summer, the sun doesn't go down.
Love.
Just light. So I'm thinking of like a 24-hour golf challenge.
Oh, wow.
See how many holes you can do in 24 hours.
I love that. I've got a similar mad. So we were discussing with your producer over here the wrestling idea that I had for retired sports people. I've had 2 mad ideas for retired sports people. That was one of them. I still stand by it.
I think it'd be great.
I've definitely got a power bomb in me. That's all I'm saying. Chokeslam's my move. Let's be honest. But anyway, I'll move on because I will literally lose. You'll lose another hour of me talking wrestling. So I'm said lady who's the advertiser. So she's coming on board as a non-executive director. So she's really like the whole thing. She's getting.
Is wrestling a sport? It's not, is it? It's fake, isn't it?
It's fake, but then so is every Hollywood film anyone's ever watched. So it's just one of those where you go. It's just it's a mixture of the two in my mind.
It's sport and entertainment.
Yeah.
You need to have some form of athletic prowess to do it.
Yeah, I mean
I do try and stir the pot with Nick a bit and wind him up.
Yeah, no, they are athletes in the way they move.
I wouldn't want any of them jumping at me, to be fair.
No, but the falls are real. It's real. Like you're doing. It's there's a level of scripting, there's a level of ad lib. Like it's a proper performance, is what it is. Like the same as like if you watch ballet, like dancers are incredible athletes. But the way they move, all choreographed and all the rest of it. So it's a similar thing. Netflix bought the rights to WWE.
Yeah, Nick was really happy with that, wasn't he?
And all the back catalogues on it. And I remember growing up with a VHS of Survivor Series 4, so I found it and had like a nostalgia session the other night. It was mint. So yeah, sorry. Other idea ties in with yours. So had this, I was saying earlier, you said 5 years. I've just been doing this. We've been sat there. What's the, the year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan? What are you doing? And she was like, 2 things that we need to get done, like big box thinking. Number 1 is a front row charity, because we charities at every step of our thing, and one of the biggest problems, 1 for men in general, and 2 for sports people in specific, we're bloody useless at talking to people about our mental health. I've lost. Go on.
Interesting you mentioned that. We've got a podcast coming out tomorrow.
Right.
Well worth a watch. It's all around men's mental health and safe space and talking on.
It's massive, and there's Loose Heads. There's a charity that's set up specifically from rugby, as they're related to, and down the lines of things. But for me, like I've personally lost mates in that dark space from leaving sport and where they go through. One quite famous one that's sort of gone round is like Nick Costa, who was. I was at Bath with him. I'd played with his cousin at Northampton. Lovely boy. Worked in charities, Cambridge Blues, one of their captains, all the rest of it. And then decided didn't fancy it one day. Obviously, football. Gary Speed, big name that went with it. Ricky Hatton, not too long ago. It's a really dark space when you're coming out of sport. So that needs support, and that needs funding. So actually, a charity that's essentially a discretionary fund where we can then support people where they need it. The whole reason I've called it front row support and been, drawn back to what I've always been a prop. It's like it's the front line stuff. It's getting your hands dirty, and that kind of, you can sit and talk about things, but you actually need someone to get in there and do it. And
absolutely.
I'm like, if we've just got a fund that's properly managed by people that actually know how to run a charity, because again, not me, and you go, he needs help, you help him, and there's a fund there that can achieve that. Everyone's based on their merits. What does this person need? We can fund and go. So that's a massive one that sort of means a lot to me that we need to get up and running. The mad one, and finally got round to Norway. Yeah, I get called a Viking a lot. Don't know why.
It's not the hair.
Team building, wow, precious little there is. So as a way of sort of showing team building skills, like how we can pull together, showcasing what ex-pro sports people are capable of, all this and all the rest of it. Go to Norway, build a longboat, row it to England.
That's a great idea.
Recreate a Viking raid. So like proper build it, not like let's do a modern day equivalent. Like literally get the people that know how to do it right. So we build it as a team, row it in as a team, all ex-pro sports, and film the whole thing, get that going. I'm like, can we get that done?
I was once, this might tip you into another direction as well. I was once speaking to someone who worked with a rugby charity. I can't remember what it was called. Wooden Spoon, I think it was.
Yeah, Wooden Spoon, yeah.
And they were talking, I don't know if they've got around to doing it, but doing a tag rugby game at base camp on Everest.
They've done it.
They have done it?
Yeah, they've done that. There's been a channel swim.
All right.
So there's a few, because we're all that way minded. I mean, obviously we were talking about doing rugby on pontoons.
Yes,
That's
that leads off. Yeah, that leads off.
So we need to work that one out at some point. But no, we're all that way minded, because I say purpose is a massive thing. Like the three sort of biggest things when you retire from sport, like loss of purpose, loss of identity, and loss of income. So income's why I've set the recruitment one up, because we've just got some like real entry level roles to get people into quickly. We then help them develop where they want to go in a career. But it's like, let's put the fire out, get you earning, because most of us got families. They need looking after.
Well, I mean, we'll go grab a bite after this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's maybe a conversation we can have as well.
And,
Look at a pathway into
which would be amazing.
Security, cleaning, or technical services.
Because quite a few of us look quite good for security, don't we? So you've got that straight away. The loss of identity is the thing that you really need like the mental health support with, but that loss of purpose is all of us. We're all suddenly like, what do you do? Yeah. So to be able to go charity straight away gives us all something to go, right, okay, I can carry that now. Yeah. So yeah, it's there's a lot.
What going on?
There's a lot.
I was going to ask what's motivating you for the future, but you kind of
can see it all, can't you?
You just kind of answered it with the whole charity and where you take it from there. I think that's pretty much all I had to go through in terms of like what you've done. And I mean, how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to join a hub or do something with you, usually for an event?
Yeah. So the website's being redone again. To be fair, he's done a very good job, but it took a fair while the first time around. But by the time we'd updated ourselves. So this is a rebrand that's just been launched in the last month or two. So So we've gone away from the rugby post because we are other sports as well, but sort of kept a sporting badge theme. The guys that did it, members of ours, have also done Rugby World Cups, FIFA, UEFA, the NBA, all sorts. So they're proper sports branded guys. They're on with it. So obviously we're updating the website with that. The sort of definition of the 3 areas we've sort of redefined through on that. But the website still exists. So frontrowsupport.co.uk is where that goes on. I'm more or less exclusively on LinkedIn. I do exist in other places, but not professionally. But I do a post every Monday morning sort of talking about where I combine sport and business, a lot of mindset stuff, just to get people, a bit of motivation for the week. So then come find me on there. But generally, if you're floating around Leeds, you'll
bump into you.
Not long. Yeah, you don't have to go too far to find somebody that can point you in the right direction. Yeah. So it's like, then they come.
So the hubs are every Tuesday, aren't they?
Hubs are, so they will spread. So the one down in Beverley is actually a Thursday afternoon because it suits. We're putting them in hospitality venues. The idea is also supporting hospitality venues because I'm front row forward and pubs mean a lot to me. So yeah,
they're dwindling down a bit as well, aren't
well, this is the point. So we're putting bums on seats. So we get in there, we buy beer, we buy food, we buy coffees, we do what we do. So once a week they're getting boosted. So yeah, the Beverley one's Thursday afternoons. The other ones are all Tuesdays at the minute. But yeah, if someone wants to come get involved, whether they want to do it to help, whether they're doing it because they can see a potential for sports people in their business, whether they want events doing of any type. We've done wheelchair rugby league sessions, we've done line-out lifting sessions as trust exercises in the middle of a team building day, we've done the golf with you, we did a kitchen takeover once, bar takeover, cocktail mixing, we can put whatever on where anyone wants to do. And then, if you as a person want to develop, so I know that we all, especially as Brits, with coaching is a bit of a word, but it's like every sports person I know has got multiple. Like I've had hundreds of coaches in my career for all sorts of things. So it's just like we all need them. So you want to come get involved, learn, grow.
Nice. Well, we'll drop the links in the descriptions and I'll give you a bit of work, Tyler, and we'll overlay links for the
Thanks,
websites
Tyler.
and stuff. So just to end on a couple of lighter notes, before we get to the in the bin, if you could go back and speak to 15-year-old Charlie Beech with his curly perm and
curly hair,
what would you say to him?
Keep the hair. It was glorious.
Keep the hair.
It was glorious.
Well, again, we'll overlay that because it's a sight to behold.
It's a great picture, isn't it? It's the same picture everyone uses as well.
I'll look forward to
it. It was one of these ones. When there's pictures in your past where you'll have of yourself where you'll be like,
oh yeah, I've got a couple of videos that come flying around as well.
Why did I do that? Like, what? Oh God, I look a bit ridiculous here. But in the last couple of years, it's suddenly become this. Was that you? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, what? And they're like, you look amazing. And I'm like, you're saying I don't now? Like, that's really offensive. But no, it's an impressive haircut, or lack thereof haircuts is probably more accurate. But
I think Alex is trying to dig you out.
I'm trying to find it because he's
trying to dig
Google away. It's in there.
No way.
Yeah. There's a full chest version of it somewhere, but they've just cropped the hair because it's
chopped your head off
because it looks great.
Lock your daughters up. You'd be on Love Island.
I think I look like Sideshow Bob's little brother, frankly. But
Sideshow Bob's
but other people, I look great. All right,
so keep the hair would be your advice.
Yeah, keep the hair slightly. But it's what I put at the bottom of every single one of my Monday morning posts is keep going. And I think it's such a massive thing because everything you go through, you're like one day this will pass, all that noise. But the whole thing with so having lost mates to suicide, and there's a whole thing with the semicolon because it's like you could have chosen to put a full stop, but you didn't. You chose something else and continued. There's all these little messages, but if you just keep going, you'll find a way through. And it's
agree.
That message because at 15 things started getting really difficult for me in certain ways, and life's been a very interesting journey since. And it's just that you will get through. So just keep the faith, keep going.
That's a good message, mate. That's a good message, and we'll move on to our lighter topic of in the bin now. You can go first. In fact, Charlie, you go first. What would you
in the bin for me?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's and I'm going to say this. Sport to business done poorly in the fact that business has nicked some sporting terms, and it winds me up because I go on LinkedIn and there's a scrum master. I'm like, oh, like someone else from rugby. No, it turns out he's good at program management. I don't even know what it is. People using huddle for a meeting. I'm like, it's not a shorter word. All right, one letter, but it's same syllable. It's a meeting. You've already got a word for a meeting. It's called a meeting. It's not a huddle unless you're huddled together, stood outside. So like, use one or the other. And the worst one is the amount of dickheads that have written no dickheads on their CEO, on their bloody boardroom walls. Beep. Yeah. Like if you aren't one of those, fair enough. But the amount of people that put it up there that is more or less a big flag being waved that they are one. Yeah. So like that's famously the All Blacks. Like the All Blacks went through a real they're global dominant force for years, and they had a bit of a wobble when they looked at it and they were like, we've got far too many of those people in our team. So they then were like, no, literally, if we as a group go, no, he's not right for us, they kicked him out, and that became their mantra. And then a load of people in business have been like, that's what we're like. They put it on the wall and think that's the job done. It's like,
this is a nice slogan.
That's what I'm saying, like, live it. Don't just talk about it, live it. Like, and that's the sport thing. As I say, so sports and business done poorly winds me up. I am by no means the authority on doing all of it entirely correctly. I'm not saying I'm the only one that can. There's many people out there, and you don't have to be a sports person to live by your word. But yeah, when I hear certain things, and I'm just like, I mean, business jargon of itself is quite fun. But like, yeah, when there's nicked sport ones, I'm just like, get in the bin.
Paul, your choice today?
Bin police.
Bin police? What do you mean?
In the bin. When you turn up at the tip, you got the guy that wants you to open your boot just to have a look at what you've got.
Right.
Bin police, mate.
Fair.
And the audience will agree.
Fair. They're not like that at the tip.
Oh, mate. So
they don't care.
Our local tip is getting redone, and they were turning like that. And we've been redirected to a tip in Droylsden. It is absurd, mate. Bin police.
Fair enough.
In
mine would be mint sauce on a roast. I'm joking. No, mine is, I'm going to dig you out actually, mate. It's the poor use of reply to all. It just, that makes...
Oh, I see, I nearly swore there.
It makes my teeth itch. It pisses me off. Like, I don't need... I love you, Paul, dearly. But I don't need to see you emailing someone else back going, noted, thanks. Like, just stop it. Just stop.
Like,
just stop it.
That was back to our end. I think it's respectful that you just let someone know that you've noted that they give you an instruction, or the full team an instruction.
In fact, I might speak to IT and see if we can ban reply all.
It would save a lot of trouble for some people who don't know the difference between those two buttons.
Yeah.
Funny.
And finally, just a quick one, mate. Seeing as you've got a rugby background, I loosely followed rugby for 20 odd years, very loosely. So do you want to blind rank some English rugby union players? So it's 1 to 5. If I give you some names,
go on.
You play some. So Jeremy Guscott.
He's going to be high though, isn't he? The sensible thing to do is put him at 3, so I've got wiggle room either way. But Jeremy Guscott's a good player, so I'm going to go 2, and then I might regret dropping someone after.
Johnny Wilkinson.
He was. I don't think he was that good. He could just kick a ball.
He was a fly off that actually knew how to tackle people. That's why he had to retire.
Some of the hits that he
was lethal. Like,
I don't know about.
Yeah. No, the fly half traditionally runs away from tackles, so most people run down that channel, and Johnny made it his business to end every.
My brother-in-law absolutely loved him.
His body was battered on it because he just.
As a lad who remembers being sat in school watching that drop goal, he's got to be number 1, isn't he? Like, he's got to be. The forward in me now feels disgusted because I've ranked 2 backs as 1 and 2, but I'll deal with it.
Martin Johnson.
So he can go 3.
Yeah. He can go 3.
He can go 3. Great guy. And actually, he's doing some fantastic interviews at the minute. There's a thing when they've got like a kid interviewing these legends, and he really is answering the questions properly. And actually, it's a similar thing to this, but it's not the blind ranking. He's like, who's the greatest player you've ever played with? He said, you can't answer that properly, Arthur. He said, like, think about Johnny, think about this, think about that. Like, everyone's got a different role to play, so he answers it very intelligently. Like, it's good. I mean, World Cup winning captain, great leader.
So what have we got locked in now? 1, 2.
1, 2, and 3. So the other 2 better be crap.
Owen Farrell.
He can go 5. No, so I played against Owen a couple of times. He's a great player. There's no 2 ways around it. He's like record point scorer and all the rest of it. I never buy him for this. People like, watch their Premiership heroes and go, oh, so-and-so's crap. It's like, he's not crap. He's a brilliant player. I personally had issue with the number of no-arm tackles he got away with. Just seemed to have this, like, shot straight through to the RFU where he never got pinged for anything. So I'm going to put him 5th just to punish him for no-arm tackles.
And you'll like this one then, and the last one's Charlie Beech.
Yeah, I like that. I'll take that. I mean, genuine, I would actually take that. I'd put the other 3.
It's not bad. It's not bad. We'll keep,
Yeah, because I'll back myself in a one-on-one channel against Owen Farrell, so I can prove myself right. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? I'll run it straight this on now. I'll do that. I'll be fine.
Fantastic.
How would they have ranked you?
Oh, bottom, and deservedly so. Yeah, the only one in there that hasn't got an England cap, that hasn't got an under age group thing written before it. Like, you know, they're all proper England superstars and legends.
But you wore the red rose, haven't you?
Well, as I say, I played all the England age group stuff, so 16s, 18s, 19s, 20s. So I did all those.
When you think about the pool of people in the country, that's
Yeah,
your mean feat, mate.
Yeah.
No, it was one of the things actually, and I appreciate we're near the end of this, but you know, quick story. When I had that first job, business coaching, they brought a guy in who sold out a massive estate agency firm in York, and he came back in as a consultant to help us out. And he was like, "Oh, you know, well, you obviously made it as a rugby player," and I was like, "No, not really." And he went, "What do you mean, not really?" And I said, "Well, no, I never played for England. I was never a lion. Like, part of me wanted to be. It didn't match up with what I was doing in life, and I put more time into being at home and being dad, and I don't regret that choice at all. I love, like, that was my priority in life, always has been, always will be." But the times I could have stayed and trained longer and done harder, I made my choices. I lived by them. But I was like, so I never really made it. And he just went, "Mate, how many people, like you say that, pool of players, pool of available males in the country that could have and would have. It's like, how many people are there? How many people are in the Premiership every year?" It's like 400 people. Right, so you're 400 out of however many. And he went, "Yeah, how compound interest works, right? So every year you have to multiply that and it gets smaller and smaller. So how many years are you full time?" I was like, 15 years. He's like, "Do the maths, Charlie, and tell me you've not made it." And I think, like, it was a lovely thing for me to hear, because it's it's very true. But I think all of us can look at a bit of that. Like I say, we as British people, very, Bill Poppy syndrome, play things down, all the rest of it. And when you look at what each of us has done in life, and you think, how many people have walked this and have done as well as I've done, and still walking around with a smile on my face? Like, we're all pretty rare, you know.
It's impressive, mate.
So it's a nice thought, that.
Put the negativity in the bin.
Exactly, exactly right. Negativity in the bin.
Take your own advice.
Yeah.
But listen, Charlie, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem.
I know we've kind of talked about doing this for a while, but it's nice to finally get it out. You need to do your own as well, because
so I've been told.
This morning as well.
Yes, several times.
Charlie, you're very good, mate. I mean, that's probably one of the first podcasts where I've said not very much.
Same.
But it's great listening to the story, mate. Honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And we'll wrap it up there. So thanks for joining us, mate, and we'll see everyone soon.
Thanks for having me.